no question, I think of determination, and the third and the most important is his drive. To repeat as a champion, I saw that drive. When I think of Jake Rusholt, I think of adversity, a man that had to overcome it to win. I think of determination, the fact that there was no other thing to do but to win. And I think of completion. He completed his season the way he wanted. And very few athletes get that opportunity. When I think of Steve Mocco, I think of no options but to win. Obviously, the drive to perfection, and probably the most important is the will and the drive to win. Unlike many wrestlers I've ever coached, he has that passion and drive to win.
Mocco, 37-0 this year with 17 pins and 3 tech falls, was named the top wrestler in the country and will be presented the Dan Hodge Trophy. 13 of his pins came under 90 seconds, and 16 of those came in the first period.
You know, with Steve Mocco, you know, it was a good fit for us. Obviously, he was coming to a program that had won 2 national championships, and at the same time, it was a program that I really believe that helped him. I think his commitment to excellence rubbed off on others, but at the same time, I think he got a good feel of some of the people that were here that made a difference for him. Guys like Chris Pendleton, guys like Zach Esposito, Johnny Hendricks. I saw him change as the season went along from being focused about Steve Mocco to all of a sudden in some ways becoming a leader on this team, helping others and taking on a little responsibility of a leadership, which ultimately I believe helps the individual do what he wants to do individually.
The decision to come here was definitely, you know, a good decision for me. You know, it's made me realize that there's a lot more skill involved in wrestling. You know, I have a lot more offense now, and I'm continuing to improve. You know, every day I improve. So I think it was a great decision, and I feel myself improving every day.
If there was a turning point this year, a season that saw the Cowboys meet and beat 7 top 10 teams, it might have come at the national duels.
But I do believe we had a turning point there in a lot of ways. One, we brought out 2 young freshmen, Coleman Scott at 125 and Nathan Morgan, both of them true freshmen, along with Daniel Fishcorn, who wrestled there with Ronnie Delk at 141. I've just seen a lot in our team. I've seen some changes in our team at that time, and I think they were inspired by those young kids wrestling hard and wrestling well. And at the same time, one of our seniors, Chris Pendleton, having such a good showing there, had to step out in a couple of different situations, score big points for the team. For us to win that tournament, obviously it takes 10 to win an event like that, but some of his matches in that tournament I think was inspiring for the rest.
Ah, he's pinned! He's pinned! Chris Pendleton, what a job by the senior. And we said he will go for the bonus anytime he gets the chance, and he does it in 1:04 over 4th-ranked Pete Friedel.
Yeah, national duels was every match that we had in the whole tournament kind of played out different. There was times where we had guys that weren't starters step in and get big wins for us, and we had times where people were wrestling hurt and really shouldn't have been out there wrestling, but they were doing it for the team to make sure that we could get that team title, and that really inspired me to go out and give a good performance.
It was a tough grind, but it was a schedule that helped this group of Cowboys take the Savage Center by storm.
I mean, this is the toughest schedule I've ever been through in my life, and even you know, senior Chris Pendleton told me, you know, he's like, this is the hardest senior year, any competition I had. There's days where I came in and, you know, you don't want to be in the room sometimes, you know. I'm like, dang, my legs are killing me, you know. But I mean, always to, you know, the coaches, I mean, they always think you could work harder. I mean, but you also have to have faith in your coaches. I mean, you know, at some points I was like, God, what is he doing to us? I mean, he's freaking killing us. But I mean, like he's got a plan. I guess he's got a plan. He's going to get us ready for the end, and that's the most important. And he did. I mean, he had us completely peak at the right time. I mean, Big 12s. I mean, probably best performance I ever had. And NCAA's 5 champs. I mean, you can't beat that.
The Cowboys crowned 7 All-Americans, 5 champions, plus freshman Coleman Scott and Daniel Frischkorn, who placed 8th and 4th, respectively. Scott was one of 7 Cowboy wrestlers who won Big 12 championship titles. He beat Oklahoma's Sam Hazewinkel, who was undefeated and ranked number 1 at the time. OSU won 18 of 22 matches in the conference tourney and has now won 3 straight league crowns and 7 of the 9 overall. The national championship was John Smith's 4th as the Cowboy head coach. The 33 titles are the most ever recorded at any school in one sport. What about a four-peat?
For me, at the NCAA championships, at the completion, and the next morning as we loaded up on the bus and headed back to Stillwater, my thoughts were going on the 2006 NCAA championships in Oklahoma City and how we can challenge or put ourselves in a position to win the 2006 NCAA championships. With each year, it's a different team. Obviously, we have several guys returning on this team that can make a difference, but you have to earn that each year. That is no given in this sport. I understand that from the days I competed as a wrestler, and more so today as a coach, that you can't take anything for granted. First time you start thinking that you can't be beat, that's when you lose. You should always have respect for your opponents, for other programs, and for us, that process starts now. On thinking about what we want to do as a team and what we want to do individually. When this banquet's over, the celebration of 2005 is over. It's a new start on Friday. And for me, and for our staff as well as our athletes, we have to move in that direction. I think it's a challenging year as we step into next year. I think most programs out there have most of their returners back, but nothing's given. It's a tournament that you have to earn, a tournament that we have earned the past 3 years, and we can start earning that in the spring of 2005, not the spring of 2006.